morning, everyone, and welcome to Tuesday Chapel. Today is the first of several Tuesdays where we will be welcoming grade school students from our Federation schools. So, if you would join me in welcoming the 5th and 6th graders from Faith Lutheran in Antioch, please give them a round of applause. So, just a reminder to all you high school students, when you see some smaller children walking through the hallway, smile at them, be nice to them. Their job, their adventure is to figure out how to get from their 3rd set class to their 4th set class. So if you see somebody who looks lost and they look a little smaller than you, help them out, be kind to them. So, as grade school students reminder, after chapel, stay put. High school kids will lead. I'll help you find set 3. All of you just leave.
Is on? Am I on? You're good? Awesome. All right, so as you were walking in, you probably noticed the before and after pictures. I tried to have different stuff up there for everyone, whether you're a car junkie, you're a woodworker, piano lover, if you just like the before and after, like HGTV type pictures, okay? This morning, though, we're going to focus on reconciliation, so changing from old to new, all right? So reconciliation, he restores our relations. That's our focus for the week. But I want to start with a question here this morning. Do you ever feel like the whole world is against you? No matter where you turn, you find opposition. And when there's no active opposition, it's simply just apathy and ignorance. You think you know people, and then they just turn on you. Nothing goes right for very long, and on most days, most things go wrong. On these days, it's easy to forget about or let doubt swirl in your mind about the relationships in your life, especially the relationship that you have with the most important person in your life, that's Jesus. Our scripture reference this morning comes from the book of Colossians. The book at Colossae was under attack from false teachers who wanted to plant seeds of doubt into the minds of the believers who were members at that church. Things were not going their way. On most days, most things were going wrong. These false teachers wanted to spread a message that Jesus was not actually God. Paul heard about this when he was imprisoned in Rome, and Paul did what Paul liked to do. He wrote a letter. That's where we get the book of Colossians from. Paul had never actually been to the church at Colossae, but he addressed the people and the issues head on. Paul knew that the nature of Jesus as creator and redeemer was non-negotiable. So he wanted to instill confidence in these people and bring his wisdom to help them in their difficult situation. It was absolutely critical for the church to know God in his greatest and entire glory, rather than just in the compromised view from these false teachers. We read Colossians chapter 1, verses 19 through 23. You can just follow along. For God was pleased to have all his fullness dwell in him, and through him to reconcile to himself all things, whether things on earth or things in heaven, by making peace through his blood shed on the cross. Once you were alienated from God, and were enemies in your minds because of your evil behavior. But now he has reconciled you by Christ's physical body through death to present you holy in his sight. This is the most important part that we're going to focus on here this morning. Without blemish and free from accusation, if you continue in your faith, established and firm, and do not move from the hope held out in the gospel. This is the gospel that you heard and that has been proclaimed to every creature under heaven, and of which I, Paul, have become a servant. So let's change our perspective here this morning, just to get something in a little bit different light. You may think that the whole world is against you on some days. But God, he really has the right to feel like that every single day. No matter where he turns, he finds opposition. And where there's no active opposition, does this sound familiar? There's simply apathy and ignorance. Even when people claim to know him, they just turn their backs on him. And most days, most things go wrong. What is God's reaction, though, when this happens? It's not like our frustration and anger. Instead, God's reaction is to send his son Jesus to save us, to reconcile us to himself, to restore our relationship with him. Jesus is our medium. He's our go-between who restored the relationship between God and man. All these products that I was showing you before chapel as you were walking in, hopefully you had a chance to pay attention and look at them. They can't fix themselves. Cars, they need specific tools to get the job of a restoration done. Houses need specific hammers and nails for this job or that to complete a renovation. And when the job is complete, the product looks like new, free from any blemish whatsoever. The caretaker of that new house, that car, the piece of furniture, whatever it is going to take extreme measures to make sure that it's taken care of. However, as we all know, the car is probably going to get a scratch here or there. It might get bumped in a Walmart parking lot. We know that piece of furniture is probably going to get dings and scratches by kids and their toys, or maybe a nice little water ring from someone who doesn't use a coaster. We know that potholes can be fixed, but it's only temporary. Earthly products are restored like new every single day, but they are at risk of damage with the elements of life. Everyone gets this concept. It's super easy, right? However, what becomes difficult to grasp at times is how God has done this to us. He has reconciled us. He has made us new and free from any blemish. And this happens on a constant basis. A constant basis. We are beaten by sin every single day. We receive dents, dings, scratches, and scuff marks every single day. Yet God makes us like that newly restored car on a constant basis. No blemish is too much for God to consider us holy in His sight. Like that? I contemplate, should I put this up there? Should I not put it up there? Oh, okay, I'll put it up there. As I was getting ready for chapel this weekend, my 6-year-old son comes up to the computer and says, why is it dad plus dad equals no circle? Okay? So I had to explain to him, okay, so here's the message. I'm trying to get this across. Dad plus dad equals, I can't go to heaven. I can't get myself to heaven. And without a prompt, without telling him anything or putting anything in his mind, he says, oh, so dad plus Jesus equals you get to go to heaven. Yeah, that was awesome. That was a cool dad moment. This stuff is so simple, children can understand it, right? But the most important piece of that equation, obviously, is Jesus. So knowing this, knowing how precious of a free gift it is to us, we should be inspired to live a life for Christ. So I'm going to encourage you this morning. I'm going to urge you. I'm going to challenge you to proactively seek avenues in your life that can improve your service to Jesus. Instead of only coming to Him for convenience. But the question is always how? How do I serve Him? What should I do? Give me this encouragement, tell me something to do. I think besides the fact that we all pretty much know the difference between what we should do and shouldn't do, the Ten Commandments, the natural knowledge of God written on our hearts, I think we can circle back and take a look at our core values as a school again. These posters are planted all across our school and in our classrooms. So my encouragement to you, I'm going to urge you, I'm going to challenge you as you walk into your classrooms the next few days, or as the days start growing dimmer, as we get through the fourth quarter here, just take a look at the poster. Pick one thing from each category and try to work at it. Try to achieve something within that category. And I think if you do that, if you actually take a look at the poster, the stuff really isn't that hard to do. So reflect on the fact that your relationship with God has truly been restored. You are like new, free from blemish. And now go and serve Jesus with that inspirational energy. Amen. You can open up your hymnals if you'd like. We're going to sing hymn 123. The words will be up on the screen though as well.
Yeah, just changing the announcements this morning. The varsity softball game is home tonight, so go and check out the softball game on the backfield, cheer on the girls. Also, Mr. Hunter, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Mr. Hunter. Happy birthday.
High school kids, you are dismissed from the class. For those who can stay,